right, we're going to go ahead and get started. First of all, thank you all so much for being here today. My name is Ryan McClure. I am the Executive Director of Gateway Arch Park Foundation, and I'll talk a little bit more about what we do as an organization later. But we're so honored to be here today, and want to welcome Mahesh Ramanujam, President of the U.S. Green Building Council. Thank you so much for being here with us today, traveling, and I know you've got a packed day, so we really appreciate you being here. Yeah. And we're here obviously to celebrate the LEED Gold certification of the Visitor Center and Museum at Gateway Arch National Park. Last year, a major renovation of Gateway Arch National Park was completed. It was the culmination of work and investment by this community, the likes of which has never been seen before. This was the largest public-private partnership in National Park Service history. So the building you're standing in today is part of that project to connect the arch to the city it represents for the first time in its history. A 46,000 square foot expansion of a modern and inviting new visitor center, a park that expands over the highway and again connects the arch grounds physically to the city that it represents. And there is so much energy in our city right now. I truly believe St. Louis is in the midst of a renaissance. There's $6 billion in investment happening in the city's core as we speak. New attractions are coming online with Ballpark Villages Phase 2, the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station, many more to come. That just names a few. And of course, the new Soldiers Memorial. And it's an amazing institution, and we are honored to share in their distinction today, as they are also celebrating LEED certification, an event right after this event. So a little more about Gateway Arch Park Foundation. We are the official fundraising partner of the National Park Service. Our conservancy partners with Bi-State Development, Great Rivers Greenway, Jefferson National Parks Association, and the City of St. Louis to ensure that the arch is a vital, welcoming resource for generations to come. We helped raise $221 million in private dollars for the reimagining of the Gateway Arch National Park in downtown St. Louis, combined with $159 million in public investment, including public entities and the people of St. Louis who approved a tax to support this effort. We reached a total of $380 million needed to complete this project. From the first concepts on paper, it was important to create a space that was welcoming, accessible, and sustainable. So today, we celebrate the LEED Gold certification of the new Gateway Arch Visitor Center and Museum. And I want to take a moment to recognize the members of the design and construction team that made that possible. And that's really everyone in this room today. So it really, part of this event really needs to be to honor you all. All the National Park Service staff, the companies and consultant Gateway Arch Park Foundation staff, many, many others that made it possible for this building and this project to be really sustainable and be a model for other parks and buildings. So I really just want you all to give yourselves a round of applause and thank you for all of your hard work that made this possible. Again, your work truly made this distinction possible. It was a key tenet of this project to build a more sustainable park and visitor center. And so much work went into that goal, and today this is a wonderful recognition of that work. So it's now my honor to introduce my friend and Superintendent of Gateway Arch National Park, Mike Ward.
Thanks, Ryan. I'll probably just say everything that Ryan just said. So, obviously, thank you all for being here today. We appreciate it. It's exciting. It's a great honor for us as the National Park Service. Great honor for everyone in this room, as Ryan points out, that was involved in achieving this. We have partners through Jefferson National Parks Association, members of Bi-State here, Gateway Arch Park Foundation, Great Rivers Greenway. All of the partners that made this project possible are also the partners that actually assisted us in achieving this, along with everyone that's out here from any organization or entity that worked alongside us over the couple of years of working on this project. So thank you for being here, and I appreciate all the work that you did. Congratulations to our good friends at Mohis later on today for actually being in the same situation that we are, so that's fantastic. The National Park Service for many years has strived to be a leader in sustainable projects and green projects, whether it was building a new building or large renovations of an existing building. As a conservation agency, we have strived to achieve that in everything that we do. Achieving some of that, we applied principles of integrated design, optimizing energy performance, protection and conservation of water resources, enhancing the indoor environmental quality, and reducing the environmental impact on resources in terms of materials. As buildings like this new visitor center, because they have such a substantial impact on the health of humans and our environment, that we're sensitive to those things. So, due to our partners believing in the same thing that the National Park Service believes in, and the same thing that obviously the United States Green Building Council believes in, we were able to achieve a very incredible project here in the many ways that Ryan was just talking about, but also to strive towards something like the Gold LEED. And so we're honored to be the recipient of this, and also the recipient of being involved in a project that partners cared that much to be involved with here in St. Louis. So on behalf of the Gateway Arch National Park and the entire National Park Service, it's an honor to be recognized here today. And it is also an honor for me to introduce Mahesh Ramanujan. I was closer when I sat down. I apologize. Yeah, but welcome and thank you for being here. And the podium is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. This is my first time in St. Louis, and I get to be part of this fun. This is awesome. First of all, thanks to Ryan, and of course to our Superintendent Mike. Lately, I've been taking nice pictures. I took a picture with the police commissioner of Dubai City, and I was in Cedar Rapids. I took a picture with the fire chief. Now I get a chance to take a picture with our National Park Service leader. So I have a trend going on here. For those of you who don't know who or where U.S. Green Building Council is, U.S. Green Building Council is a nonprofit established in '93 in Washington, D.C. with a very simple mission. We could build better buildings. We have buildings where we spend 90% of our time. So the idea of buildings being able to be responsible to the environment, to the society, to the people that house them was the most important vision that we established in '93. Then for a long time, people did not know what and how to define green for a green building. It took almost 5 years for us to establish LEED, which stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. And basically it became a language. It became a global language to think about how to take a building and take it through the journey of sustainability. Be it saving energy, saving water, saving waste, improving daylight. You see this building is beautifully lit. And basically being able to create a comfort for the occupants, and importantly, deliver the best health outcome for the occupants and the visitors and anybody who's being part of the building. Now you can put a price on everything, but you cannot put a price on the human health component, because buildings need to make the health of the occupants better, because health and wellness should not be a privilege. It's a right for everyone, and a building is the place where we should deliver it. So that's our vision. And in the last 25 years, we have established 100,000 projects participating in LEED, 22 billion square feet in 76 countries and territories, and the conversation is still on. But I want to bring it back to this building, which is a beautiful building, a LEED gold building. It has got some unique characteristics to it. First and foremost, it's very easy to really build a green building if you're starting from fresh. If everything is new, if everything was perfect, you will have the best architects, you will have the best investment, you will have the best contractor, consultant, design agents, experts, and enthusiasm from a leadership to build something new. And you really transform a building because that's what you're trying to get to, something new. But when it is an existing building, it's really hard. It's really, really hard because you have to think about the history of the building, you have to think about the legacy of the building, and you have to really reorient and repurpose the building to really make it unique. So this building, having 152,000 square feet of total square footage area, with significantly 103,500 being existing, which is almost, I would say, 75% of the size of the building is existing building. So you have to take that, rethink it, and you have to really make it part of the new, which is another 48,500 square feet building. So whether this influenced that or whether that influenced this part of the building is a challenge for the designers, the architects, and most importantly, occupants and the budget. Now, let me give you a context why I'm emphasizing so much on existing building. We are seeing a global revolution and evolution happening around new construction. But however, on existing buildings, there are so many excuses being given. People don't want to touch the existing building. They will give me things like, okay, we don't need to do it. It is an existing building. It costs more. We don't need to prioritize this. We will do few things within it. We will not take a holistic approach. But at the end of the day, being able to look at these two things together and really transform the asset is the biggest accomplishment. So it's not just LEED gold building, it's a LEED gold. I think this is the first time I'm saying this. LEED gold existing and new building that has been implemented in the world as far as I'm concerned. So I want to give a round of applause to the team. This is why it is important. The best buildings are the buildings that are not built yet. Because every time you construct something, you affect the environment. And if you demolish an existing building, and if you have stood up the best-in-class building, a LEED Platinum building, as a replacement to it, you still cannot reverse the environmental effect for next 80 years. That's one thing I want you to remember. So this building has got some fantastic unique characteristics, as Mike pointed out. The annual cost of energy has been reduced by $41,300. That's a substantial income. That could be a paycheck for somebody. That's what I think about. It has saved water over 33%. And most importantly, it has diverted landfill waste 82% from landfill. The construction waste has not gone to the landfill. It has been disposed responsibly. Now the normal standard is only 75% for a LEED gold building. You have pushed it to above and beyond to 82%. So, and last but not the least, you made this place a healthier place for everybody who's visiting this place. You're breathing very clean air. I can guarantee you that. After 20 minutes, you won't go to sleep. I'll tell you that. Why? Because there is fresh water induction inside the building. It keeps you fresh, it keeps you active, it keeps you attentive. Now, let me close with a couple of comments. Even today, when I get off the plane, when I tell people that I work for US Green Building Council, they ask me, do you put plants inside the building? So after 100,000 projects, after 25 years, we are still having a conversation on what green is, why green is important. We are still trying to buy color TV in the 21st century. I'm tired of buying color TV in the 21st century. Why am I asking for color TV in the 21st century? I should have a TV that is color. Same way, buildings should be just green. It should not be green buildings. The second part I want to tell you is, what you have defined here is not just for the park, not just for the foundation, not just for the occupants here, but for the people who are not in this room, giving them an example that what's possible, what can be done, and why is it important. I think taking that kind of leadership is very important. Mike used the word partnership very strongly. I like to expand that and say partnership is the new leadership, and it's very important that you continue to partner with us. We continue to partner with you so that we tell a better story for building better lives, better buildings for better lives. And last but not the least, green building community is a living proof that real change starts with people. Real change starts with you and me. Let's not push accountability. Let's be all in and all out for a better world. Thank you so much.
Yes, I hope. Did I go on time?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
We're going to do the plaque presentation real quick.
Lately, we've been talking about storytelling. This is the best way to tell the story. I like it.
Go ahead.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you, Mahesh. Appreciate that. Sorry, this microphone is just crazy, but I did just want to take a minute to recognize two people that are here today that were instrumental in the entire project. Anna Levy and Phil Lawrence that are sitting in the front row. Anna for the Gateway Arch Park Foundation and CAR since day one, and Phil representing a group of folks from Denver who for 3.5 years spent most of their lives here, leaving their families and kids at home for weeks at a time. And you know, between the Gateway Arch Park Foundation and Denver Service Center, a unit of the National Park Service, these two were very strong leaders in making sure that all of this occurred, working along with most of you folks in the room and with staff from both the Park Foundation, the board of Gateway Arch Park Foundation, and the National Park Service. So two great representatives for this entire thing that deserve a
Thank you, Mike. I'm so glad you added that. I mean, Anna and Phil, your leadership really drove this project home, so thank you. And also I wanted to recognize, we have representatives from Senator Josh Hawley's office, Sam Safa, District Director. Thank you for being here with us today. I don't think we have any other elected officials here, but I wanted to make sure we thank you for being here. So that concludes our event. Thank you all so much for being here on this really special, important day for us. And for those of you that are heading on to Soldiers Memorial, we will see you there. So thank you.